well. Welcome, welcome, welcome. To those who will listen to the replay and the podcast, what's up, what's up? Number one notary educator. Educator, yes, because I teach people nationwide how to become a great notary, which starts with your notarial duties. If you don't know how to stamp the paper, you have no business doing business. It's not that complicated. Money, questions equal money. All of my little sayings. What's up? What's up? So happy Friday, people. Happy Friday. Today we are talking about, can notaries actually do apostilles? Apostille, apostilles, whatever words you want to insert. It is a French word. I'm not French. So for the purposes of this video, hey Lisa, what's up? What's up? Demary, what's up? What's up? The Mentary people are in the house. What's going on, people? Yeah, so I get a common question and it circulates throughout like the notary space. Hi, what's that? HLR Wellness. Hello, welcome, welcome. Yeah, the question though is, can notaries do apostilles? Can notaries do apostilles? It's a tricky question. Hey, Lori W, what's up? It's a tricky question. Good morning. Good morning. It's a tricky question because it's a twofold answer. Okay, it has two answers to it. So let's start with what is an apostille for those of you who may be brand new. An apostille, short version, is a document leaving the United States. It's going to another country, right? But before it can go there, their country, let's say Mexico, Spain, Panama, those countries like that, they have an agreement with the United States. They say, you know what? You take our documents, we'll take your documents. There's a simplified process, and you just put this apostille on it, and we're good to go. That's the simplest way to put it, okay? But what happens is, a lot of times people are confused, notaries are confused, the clients are confused, who can actually put the actual apostille on the document. So I have a client over in Panama right now, and she's referred me to several people. And a couple of her friends were like, well, the notary can't do it. They can't do it. And my client was like, well, I don't know what she did, but she got mine completed. So it's a lot of misunderstanding. So if you as a notary right this second, call your Secretary of State office and say, hey, I want to do apostilles because I've been watching YouTube and they told me I can make $400 or $500 per document. Tell me what to do. They're going to laugh and hang up on you. First, and they're also going to say, you can't do apostilles. Okay? That's what the Secretary of State is going to do. And I'm big on, everybody don't have to know all your business, guys. The Secretary of State is there to implement the laws of being a notary, but the Secretary of State is not in the business of helping you to create your business. Okay? Does that make sense? They know what you can do and what you cannot do, but they're not telling you or teaching you that you can make the notary commission into a business, right? It really wasn't even created for that. But anything we do that you put, and this is a whole nother conversation, but anything that you do and you provide a service for someone, should you not be paid for it? Yes, right? Whoever made this flower that I'm wearing in my hair, whoever made this lipstick, they didn't make it just for community work. Okay. And sometimes when I'm pricing my services, Jeff will say, oh, we doing community work today, huh? You doing volunteer work. Because I may underprice the job, right? But the point is that, yes, it's a business. Okay. Anything you do that you provide a service. So that comes back to the apostille space. So if you call the Secretary of State right now and say, hey, I want to charge your client that will bring you the document $300-$400 for this for an apostille, they're going to look at you and they're going to laugh through the telephone, right? So again, you don't have to call them and say that. Okay, I'm going to explain the process, how it works right now. You as the notary do not put the apostille on the document. You do not do that. Okay, let's be clear. You don't put the apostille stamp on there. You don't add the special certification onto the document. That is completed by either your Secretary of State or whoever in that state is in charge of doing the apostille. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. So we have to be clear on that. Again, don't call your Secretary of State and say, I want to do this job, because it's not a job. It's not a real it's not a real job in the Secretary of State space. Okay. It's a real job here on YouTube, and it's a real job when your client calling you, and it's a real service that we provide. Okay. But it's not in your state handbook that they're going to teach you how to do it. There's no regulations on it. That's how we're able to charge the prices that we do. And not to mention, it's international. Anything international costs more. Okay, let's just be clear. Anything international. International travel costs more. Shipping documents with FedEx or UPS costs more when you're doing it international. So we're helping someone with international documents. Yes, we're going to charge more money. Okay, so it's not a secret. It's not a scam. It's not shady. It's not any of that. We are providing a service, an international service, because without those documents, that person cannot sell their property across the pond, or they cannot take their child across the river, the pond or whatever, across the country. So it's not a scam. It is not a scam. Now, how does the notary fit into the apostille process? Okay, that's a better question. See, a lot of times you have to know how to ask the right question, the question behind the question. I don't know if you ever read that book, but it's a great book. Okay, so sometimes we're asking the wrong question and we get the wrong answer. Now, how again does the notary facilitate it or be the agent or whatever words you want to put? So the notary receives the document. Sometimes it needs to be notarized, sometimes it doesn't. Okay. But the notary will take the document to the Secretary of State or mail it to the Secretary of State. Okay. And then they will get the apostille put on by the appropriate people, bring the document back to the client. Okay. That's what happens. They bring it back to the client and they give it to them, and the client pays you money for that. Okay. So some more common questions I get about apostilles is, when do I accept payment? My preferred method of payment is everything up front, but because it's such a large ticket item, or service I provide, I will allow them to pay half and half, but I always want to get enough to cover any shipping costs or any documents or anything like that. I always want to make sure I get enough to cover that. Okay. You guys can feel free to ask a few questions if you have any. So again, the notary themselves do not put the apostille on the document. Okay, I cannot say it enough. Don't call the Secretary of State and say, I want to offer this service, because they're not going to know what it is. They're not in the business of teaching you how to do apostilles. They don't teach you how to charge for apostilles. Your Secretary of State has zero information about the apostille business. Okay. Now, they have information about how it should be processed correctly, because that's where it's coming from. But as far as starting a business, even your notary business, when you look at your state handbook, there's not one handbook out there that teaches you how to run your notary business as a business. There's not one state. Okay, the state handbook is designed to teach you the laws of your state, what you can and you cannot do. But your state handbook is not going to teach you about ink fingerprinting. Your state handbook is not going to teach you. I have a call coming in. I'm going to have to call them back because I'm live. I just got to call them back. I got to call them back. I think they're trying to get notary service. I hate to leave you guys because I am live. Oh, do I get this call or what? I'm going to let it go to voicemail today. I don't like doing that. I do not. But I have a message on there, so I'm letting them know, hey, I'm busy, but I still want your business, okay? Anyway, so just be mindful, guys. When you're calling the Secretary of State, you have to have the right questions. And really, you need the right training and mentorship. So what we do at Notary Educators is we teach you how to start a business, okay? How to start a notary business. Oh, I forgot my books. I could take y'all with me to go get it, couldn't I? Let's do that. Let me take y'all to go get my books. So that's what I do. I teach you how to start a business, right? With your notary commission. And that's not something you're going to learn at the state level, okay? I have my state handbook. I read it cover to cover. I recommend you do the same thing. You read it cover to cover. But again, your state is not in the business of, helping you to grow. It's so nice. I wonder, could we sit outside for a minute? Let's go. Let's go outside for a minute. I have appointments today, but I went live early because I just have so much to do. I have to put some shoes on. Hold on. I have so much to do today, so I decided to go ahead and do my live. Y'all see all my colors, right? I love colors. I love brightness. It just makes me feel better. Let's sit outside for a minute and finish this conversation before it gets too hot, because sometimes it's too hot. Almost 100 degrees. You can't even come outside. All right, here we go. Whew. Okay, that's better, right? Get a little air this morning. All right, there we go. Let's move the camera. So anyway, like I was saying, your state handbook is not going to teach you how to start this notary business. It's not. Your state handbook has rules in place, like you're driving a car, right? When you go to get your driver's license, it teaches you how to drive a car. It doesn't tell you what brand you should go and buy, right? It just teaches you how to do the overall driving of the vehicle. Same thing with your state handbook. Your state handbook will tell you what you can and you cannot do. But my books, boom, booyah. That's one for Florida, Georgia, Indiana. Every state has their own book to teach you how to start the notary business, okay? How to start a notary business. And you can find that at notaryeducatorsllc.com. Okay, I see we have some new people in the room. Feel free to ask any questions you may have. But yeah, so that's what I do. I teach you how to take your notary commission and have almost 20 different streams of income with that. Okay, so if that's what you're looking for, you want to check out one of our mentorship programs. It's one of them is a starter plan for those that just really need to know how to basically do your notarial duties, your acknowledgments, your jurats, how to price your services, how to build the business. It includes all your major core courses plus live weekly training with the rest of us, with all of us. We're one united family. It's not where the newbies go over here and the other people go over there. No, we meet together, one group every week, live. Okay. Tam Mac says good morning. Hey Tam Mac, good morning. Yeah, so the point is you gotta know how to ask the right questions, guys. And questions equal money, because if you don't ask the right questions, you won't be doing apostilles. You'll be calling your Secretary of State. They're gonna tell you no, you can't do it, and you're gonna say, "Oh, okay, great." Excuse me? We do not question things anymore as adults, and it's so interesting to me. Somebody tell you no, and you just like, "Okay, great." Nah, I wouldn't be doing my business right now. Everybody was like, "Well, you can't make no money in Georgia. It's an attorney state. It's an attorney state, and we teach nationwide." So I'm about to tell you about Georgia, but don't think that we can't help you in your state. We teach nationwide. We got people from Illinois, Nevada, California, all states in the mentorship program. Because if you know how to properly notarize, and if you know anything about this business, you will know that all your documents do not originate in your state. Thank you, Lori. Guys, it's so hot. I was trying to stay out here for a minute, but I don't even think I can. The temperature's already on 100. I don't think I get it on my watch what the temperature is, but it is hot. We're going to go back in so we can ask some more, answer some more of y'all questions, because I don't think I'm going to make it out here. I was trying. But it's too hot. Oh my. Let's go back in the house. Uh-oh. My shoe came off. You know, whenever you live, now real stuff happens. So this is live. This is live. Yeah, so, but for real, guys, when I tell y'all, you got to ask more questions, okay? I get so many people, they like, I want to start the notary business, but I was told this. I was told that. I was told this. I was told that. I'm like, okay, fine. I get that. But can you do a little research? Figure it out for yourself. Is it true? Is it not? And sometimes you're asking the wrong people, you know? If I ask my dentist about something for my heart, he's not going to know. He might know something. Hold on. Gotta cut the fan on, y'all. It's too hot out there. Woo! Sorry about that. So anyway, yeah, so you got to ask the right people. You got to get in the right rooms, okay? When people tell you need to be in the room, I used to be like, that's a whole bunch of malarkey. You got to be in the right rooms. Like marketing tips, marketing junk, right? You got to be in the right room. I did find that out for real, guys. Knowledge is power. The people you hang out with, the people you watch on YouTube will be telling you what you can do and how to get to the bag. Real talk. I watch some YouTubers in notary space, and I'm sitting here like, now why are they telling you not to do loan signings? Or why are they telling you the business is dead, but yet they're still running their businesses? Right? That burns me up. Or you shouldn't take low-paying jobs, or you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't do that, but they're doing it. That makes me question. I'm like, that's why you got to have a mind of your own. My father was so big on that. My dad was so big on that. Don't be just running with the crowd. Don't do what everybody else do. You got to go against the grain when you want to succeed. When I was starting my daycare, I'm going to get y'all questions. I'm going to tell y'all this little story right quick. I'm coming back to these questions really quick. Yeah, but when I was starting my daycare, I had people, they were like, daycare? You don't know children? What you know about babies? Nothing. But I know how to take care of kids. I did when I was 13. So I started my daycare. I didn't keep babies, though, just for the record. I didn't want that responsibility. And they're a lot of work, more money, but more work. So what I did do, though, I kept after school kids. And anybody out there looking for a side hustle, this is a good one, too. It was a real business, actually. I don't do side hustles. I do businesses. But because I always say, if you treat it like a side hustle, that's the results you're going to get. I treat everything like a business. If you treat it like a side hustle, you're going to get side hustle results. Okay? Now, I'm not saying you have to quit your job and do it full time to make it a business. But our mentality is going to affect how we treat the business. Okay? It's going to affect it. If I call it this, it's going to be that. And I always go back to dating analogies. But either you're the girlfriend or you're the wife. Either you're the fiance or you're the wife. Each one comes with different benefits and perks, okay? Being a girlfriend is just different from being an acquaintance. I know him. Well, no, now he likes me. Now, being a wife, you got the ring, So it just titles and the way we view stuff is important. It really is, okay? So is it a side hustle or is it a business? Which one is it? Am I kind of doing it when I think about it, or am I intentionally handling my business? So it can grow. Again, it doesn't mean you have to quit your job to make it a business, but it just means you need to be intentional, okay? So anyway, my dad did not play that, though. He was like, you don't have to do what everybody else is doing. And when I was starting my daycare, people were like, again, you don't have no kids, what you gonna do? You don't know what you're doing. And I was like, I'm gonna do my daycare. I'm the kind of person, too, if you tell me I can't do something, oh, snap, you should have never told me that. You should have never. That could be good and bad, but you should have never said I cannot. I shouldn't. I'm like, what? That's just how I grew up. Okay. So that has served me very well. And at times it's kind of like, okay, pump the brakes, girl, so you get yourself in some trouble. But anyway, so I started my daycare when I was going to go work at the hospital. Same thing. They was like, what you going to do at the hospital? You don't know a medical background. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do at the hospital, but my sister was working 3 days a week. And I said, I want to work 3 days a week. I was sick of working 5 days or whatever. I said, I don't know what I'm going to do at that hospital, but I'm going here. So I did. I ended up working at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta for 8 years. Best time of my life. I love working there. Now, some of the people, that's with everything, right? But overall, the company, I love working at Children's. It goes by CHOA. What's up? Children's. Okay. Let's get these comments. So my point is, though, don't let nobody tell you you cannot. And if you don't know the facts, get the facts and then make an informed decision. Okay, back to my own notary space. I'm gonna tell you this, and let me read these comments. And I'm gonna tell you because I just get so excited about this part. It just drives me crazy that people don't put a little bit more questioning into things, and it's just like, okay, sure, you said no, that's it. I don't do no. Okay, if I even ask you to do something, and it's like a whole lot of, I don't know. I'm like, what? Let's do it. If you don't know how, let's work through it. I'm like, let's get it done. Okay, I digress. Be Positive says, Grand Rising, everyone, and Kimmi, thank you for educating us. Oh, it's my pleasure. Welcome. Welcome. Like and subscribe. Thank you, Lori. Appreciate you. Emerald Jones says, what time do your lives start? I'm from Michigan. Michigan, I am too. I'm from the west side. I'm from Finkel-Schaefer area. And then I lived out in Romulus for the last 4 years before I moved to Georgia. So, but we have notaries in all states. The live start at 7 p.m. Eastern, typically. We usually we try to rotate the days so different people can make it. Because some people worship, some people have schools, some people have kids. So we try to do it like either between Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I even did a couple weekend sessions. So again, we try to make it so everybody can come. But if you can't make it, no matter which program you pick, whichever program you pick, you can the $27 plan or the $47 plan, they both come with replays. Okay, so you can see all the description. You don't have to say, Kimmi, what do I have to do? NotaryEducatorsLLC.com. Everything you need is right there. I have people all the time say, I want to join a mentorship. Just join it. Just come on. We're there every week. We got the replays, so it ain't just like I'm popping up here on YouTube and you don't actually see me over in mentorship. No, we're in mentorship every week, okay? And you can see the topics over there on NotaryEducatorsLLC.com. You can see what's all included in your plan that you choose. So let's get it. No more excuses. That's why I've been saying that all year long. No more excuses. Can't have no more excuses, y'all. We are doing the thing now. Now we're past, well, I can't afford mentorship. I don't know what to do. No. Get your back up. Get your back up. Put your back into it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. No more excuses this year. I've been saying that all year. No more. And now we really don't have any more. When I started this year, no more excuses. That's because we had rolled out the $47 plan, and it's doing great. The people in the program are doing great, and it's not too late for you to start wherever you are in your journey. Everybody's journey is different. Some people just started last night. Some people started this morning. Some people have been doing it for 6 months. Some people have been doing it almost a year. And shout out to those who have been with us for over 6 months. I mean, you guys are doing amazing. We appreciate the loyalty. And I know you're staying because you get results. People leave and they come back. Why? Because they get results. They get results. Now, I always say my people kind of shy. I'm working on that. I'm really working on that. But they're getting results. So I guess that's what's most important. But sometimes you got to flex a little bit. You got to let the people know what you're doing. Okay? So anyway, Paula Moore says, good morning. And good morning, Kimmi and Notaries. Hey, Paula, what's up? Emerald Jones says 6 Mile and Schaefer. Oh, yes, my old stomping grounds. It used to be I think that was Schaefer. I know it was an ice cream place right there that we used to go to when I was little. But I've been in Georgia for a long time now. And I know where 6 Mile and Schaefer is. Oh, yeah. I grew up at 5 in Schaefer. So cool beans. Yes, very good. So anyway, how long have you been a notary, Emerald Jones? Are you a notary? Or are you just looking to get information? How long has everybody here been a notary? A year? 2? Are you actually doing business? Do you just have your commission? Tell me a little bit about yourselves. Tell me something. How long have you been a notary? What state are you commissioned in? Are you actually making any money? If you're not, do you want to? Is it that you don't know how to? Because it is a lot of information. I understand all of that. So tell me what some of the problems you're having. I really want to be helpful to you this morning while I'm here. While I wait on your comments, I'm going to show you my new journal. If you are ready for journals, okay? This is 15. It's a collection of 15. I only have 3 of them here. So you can look at them at NotaryEducatorsLLC.com under the journal collection, okay? But the hot pink, that's a hardback. These are softbacks. And we got the snow leopard print and the futuristic car, okay? So I think we have somebody with a comment here. Let's see what they are saying. Let's see. Emerald Jones says, commissioned in April 25. Well, welcome to the industry. Yeah, well, that's just a couple months. Have not worked yet. Have my business, have my supplies. working in my business cards and my website. So the question though I have for you, Emerald Jones, at this point is, do you know how to properly notarize a document? Like if I say, hey, can you go over to that nursing home over there at I don't know if any of those hospitals are still there, Greater Grace, what was that, Grace Hospital, or any of those hospitals. If I say, hey, can you go over there and do a power of attorney for me? Would you know what to do? Let me know. Let me know. Are you prepared? Do you feel confident to go out there and handle power of attorneys, estate documents? Because that's where the money is too nowadays, too, guys. Estate documents. If you're not doing estate documents and you don't know what the power of attorney is, if you don't know what an attorney in fact is, if you don't know who the principal is, if you don't know those kind of things, you need to be either in my mentorship where you can get the estate/trust package course for free, or you need to be buying the course, the estate/trust, because that is where the money is. When you see people saying they charging $125, $300 for estate documents, it's true. It's true. That's not just hype, guys. That's not hype. But you got to know what you're doing. You don't ask that kind of money from people and you don't know what you're doing, or you faking it till you make it, or you trying to wing it, okay? The course is on sale. Coupon code WIN, WIN 2025, okay? WIN 2025 at notaryeducatorsllc.com. And that's going to be your estate/trust course. And that's going to cover all the terminology you need, how to properly execute those documents, okay? So congratulations on starting your business, getting your supplies, your business cards, and website. But I'm pretty sure, and I can just tell from the way this conversation is going, you need to be in training though. You got to know what you're doing. Your handbook is not going to be enough. Your handbook, and it's not because I'm trying to sell you on mentorship. It's not. Facts are in your handbook is going to say you can do A, B, C. But the handbook is not going to teach you, like this book, Start Your Notary Business, how to start a business. It's not. And even this book doesn't teach you how to do your notarial duties, because that's two separate things. Starting your business, knowing how to do that, ABC, step by step, is this book. Learning how to do the business, like your actual duties, is in mentorship or the self-paced courses, okay? Jamie M.N. says, 5 years and not making money. Not confident on going out, and I have everything I need. These kind of stories break my heart. So Jamie N., what do you need as far as training? And you're not confident. Have you taken any training? And sometimes I always tell people, you might have taken some training, but it wasn't the training you need, right? You took marketing training. You took how to make it look pretty, but you don't know what to do. It's like you bought a house, right? You bought a home, beautiful home. The outside is beautiful. When people drive up, they like, dang, you are balling. But then they come on the inside, you don't have no walls up, no studs, no carpet, no kitchen, no bathroom, nothing. Yeah. It's the same thing. It happens every day. It happens every day. What they say in Texas, all hat, no cattle. You look like something, but you ain't really doing nothing. You ain't got nothing. It's the same thing with your notary business. And I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about a lot of people out there. They have every supply. They have their printer. They have beautiful logos, beautiful colors. I mean, I see some, oh my God. You guys are really, really smart when it comes to logos. I mean, the pictures and stuff that I see, the logos and the colors, I'm like, dang, that is so cute, the scripting. But if you don't know how to do your business, you have no business out there advertising, guys. Because when people call you and they expect you to come out there and do the work, and you go out there and you mess up the documents, we're going to have a problem. Not we, you. You got a problem. You got a problem. You get out there and start trying to stamp people's documents. So people are like, well, how much insurance do I need? How much insurance? How much insurance? Quit focusing on insurance and focus on how to do the job correctly. Okay, you need insurance, but don't let that be your fall guy. I got insurance, so if I mess it up, it's all good. I'll contact the signing company and they'll tell me what to do. No. They gonna tell you what to do, but they also gonna be like, Sarah don't know what she's doing. Don't call Joe anymore because he doesn't know what he's doing. They called me 15 times asking me about this signing. Yeah. So we don't want that for you. Sinai Grace, yes. What we want for you, I'm going to read that comment too. What we want for you is if you have a question, that's what you get as part of mentorship. Let's let you prepare your loan docs. We teach you how to do that. If you have any questions before you go out to loan signing, you drop them in our chat. We help you as notary educators to get the documents, whatever you got to do to get it right before you have to call the signing company and look like you don't know what you're doing, okay? Now, there will be times when you have to call the signing company no matter what, because they're going to put a document in there, and we didn't prepare the document, so we don't know the package, right? But 90% of the questions, 95%, I would say 99 almost, we can answer it for you over here in chat, and that way you look like the pro that you are or that you should be, right? And then the signing company going to send you more work, and you keep doing great work. You keep learning the business, keep learning your jobs, keep learning what you got to do. And then that's how you have a profitable business. It really is that simple, guys. It's not that complicated. It's not. Your girl don't do complications. I talked about that the other day. So I don't do complications. I don't make it complicated for you. And you will know what you need to know in order to get out there and do this business, okay? Let's see. Emerald Jones says, Sinai Grace. I believe I can do a POA, but I'm still joining your program. Okay, see, I don't like the fact you said, I believe I can. Because if you call me right now and you say, Kimmi, can you go over there and handle this POA at Sinai Grace? I'll be there in 5 minutes. Boom. That's the confidence I want for you. That's the confidence I want for you. And again, that's not being shady, but that's what I want for you. I want you to say, oh yes, where is the power of attorney? Let's do this. I got this, right? A trust package, boom. I got it because I already prepared. I know what's in it. I know what it consists of. I've been trained. I know what to look for. So I don't want you saying, I believe I can. No, I can do it. Yes. Where is the power of attorney? Let's get the stamping. Where's the job at? And where's the next one after that? And I'm leaving some business cards when I get my foot up in there and sign on Grace. Okay? With everybody I see. I'm marketing too. So your girl knows how to market. You got to market your business, right? But I'm not flashy and big on marketing when I already know you don't know how to stamp the paper. If you can't stamp the paper, you ain't got no business doing business. And I always say what I teach is not sexy. It's not. Sexy is the logo. Making sure everything matches. And y'all know all my stuff matching, my bad. So I'm all about that life too. Okay, everything matches. Your girl got pink this, pink that, pink or purple, right? So I'm all about that life too. I'm all about that. My stuff need to look good when I pull it out my bag. Thus, that's why I have my beautiful journal. Booyah. Okay? That's why we got these beautiful journals. I want, when you pull your stuff out, I got a couple people, they got the purple journal. They got the purple journal, the purple stamp. I mean, they got purpled out. Same thing with the blue. They got the blue journal, the blue stamp, you know. Excuse me. So, yeah, I'm all about that flashy life, too. When I want everything to match, right? I want it to look pretty when I pull it out. I want my clients to remember me. I teach you that. That's part of marketing. It's part of your brand, okay? I went live one day last week. I didn't have a flower in my head. I didn't realize it. So I looked at the screen. I said, wait a minute, I ain't got no flower. I don't have a flower in my head. And I said, oh, the world's going to stop. Because I always have one. Even when I'm just walking around the city. Not like everybody know me like that, but they know, if they know me, they like, where's your flower? I always have a flower. I got a white one that I just throw in my head no matter what. Now, if I'm dressed up, like today, I got a little red in here. You know, I put my red in to match or whatever, but I always have a flower. I got about 100 of them. So all that being said, though, I'm all about flash. And I want it to look good, too. I want it to look pretty. But what I teach is not sexy. Ain't nobody running to the YouTube video saying, oh, I really want to learn how to be a great notary. But if I put a video out how you can make $100,000, the people all over it. You can't make the money if you don't know what you're doing. You can't. You cannot make the money if you don't know what you're doing. So could I put out here, yeah, you can make $500 on an apostille. And I got a video coming out where I made $325 in a couple hours. It's true. I made that money. But if I put that out, it'll blow up, right? But if I talk about the process and how to actually do the apostille correctly, it's kind of like, yeah, that's not sexy. That's not sexy. That's not sexy. The mechanics of it's not sexy. Everybody wants the finished product, right? But nobody wants to get in there and do the work. Nobody wants to do the work. They want the finished product. They want the money, right? They want the 6 figures. They want, you know, the prestige or all that, but they're not willing to do the work. None of that comes if you don't do the initial work. It does not. Back to the house analogy really quick. If you don't come in here and prep this land properly and do it step by step, it's not going to work. It's going to fall. It's going to fall. And we've seen it on TV many a times where people, it looks beautiful. You know what happened, unfortunately, back in Florida a few years ago. It was terrible. That high rise looked beautiful, but it was built on sand. You know, Florida, a lot of stuff is built on sand, or either, you know, it's not a real stable surface. Foundation. Foundation is not great. So everybody up there living, balling, boom, in these beautiful places, and the whole thing crumbled down. Same thing with your notary business. If you don't have a good foundation, if you don't know how to stamp that paper, and I'm going to tell you the truth, I've been doing this for a long time right here on YouTube. I have never wavered. I have never changed. Never changed. Now, if I talked about the money more, if I talked about this more, I would be bigger. Sure. I would have a huge following. Boom. Lay it in the bed at night. Yeah, but I'm not doing that. I already know, because I'm not going to sell you a pipe dream. I'm not. I already know if you don't know how to stamp the paper, if you don't know how to do your notarial duties, you ain't got no business. You don't. You don't. So I can tell you all the other stuff. I know the sexy stuff. I know how to do it. Boom. But we ain't doing that. We'll do it when it's time to do it. How about that? How about that? Because most of you already have your equipment. Like I said, you got a dual tray printer. You got the best out there. You got your scanner. You got all the bells and whistles, but you still aren't executing. You got $2,000 or $3,000 worth of equipment and haven't made $10 yet because you're scared. You don't know what to do. And that's why I always say you didn't buy maybe a bad course. You just didn't have the right course, you know? You ever buy something and it's like, dog, I need that, but I don't need it right now. I need that later on. You bought the wrong tool for something, you know? It's like, oh, we didn't get that stuff yet. You bought this, but you're not ready for that yet. You need to bring it back, you know? Or your child ever try to do something and they're so cute, right? Child goes and get the iron or go and get something. It's like, you don't even know how to walk yet. How you gonna try to push the broom? But they're so cute, right? Because they trying. And that's how sometimes I feel about you all. I'm like, oh, wow. And my heart is breaking at the same time. I'm like, dang, they really want to do this business, but they just need some structure. And I get that a lot of you are also frightened because you spent so much money already. Let me get y'all comments. Okay, Tyra says, hey, Kimmi, and everyone in the chat. Hey, Tyra. HLR Wellness says, commissioned in 23, just starting out since I was recently laid off, currently doing some field inspections. Cool. So now's the time sometimes, and I'm sorry that you were laid off in 23. I am. But guess what? That may be the opportunity for you to start your notary business and really get into it. And we teach field inspections here too. Matter of fact, I got a lot of people doing field inspections that had never heard of it. I have a field inspection course, but of course I do. Of course I do. So check out all the course library at notaryeducatorsllc.com. And field inspections, guys, you can make money with that too. You can do a few of those a day. Boom. It depends on what you want to do in this business. There are so many different things. There are some people that are only doing field inspections. I got one person, she do like 5 a day. Field inspections. But again, you still need to know how to do that correctly. You can't just go out there and I'll just take the job. Give me a field inspection job. Sign me up. Well, you don't know what you're doing. You need to know something about the industry. What are they looking for? What kind of supplies do you need? How do you fill out the paperwork? I'm laughing because I just never saw nothing like it. I'm not that person, guys. When I want to do something, I want to know about it. I need to be in tune with it. I am researching the stew out of it. I need to know what, the who, the what, when, where, and all that. I need to know everything. But the way people run their notary businesses and everything else in their lives, I don't understand it. And I've made a lot of crazy decisions and stuff, just like everybody else. So don't think, oh, Kimmi thinks she's perfect. No, I'm not saying that, y'all, but with certain things, when it comes to business, I don't play around. Before I started my daycare, I actually went to visit daycares. I didn't know if they would talk to me or not because I was a competition, right? But I went in there and I would just ask them, I said, hey, I'm thinking about starting a daycare. And you got to be a talker, guys. You got to open your mouth. You got to open your mouth. You got to talk. Talk. You got to. So I would go to daycares and I would say, hey, I'm thinking about starting a daycare. And I was like, what are some of the pros and cons? What do you think? And they would tell me. What you find is so funny. People like talking about themselves and they love talking about their accomplishments. So I would do that. I would go visit daycares. I don't know if my husband even remember that. Jeff, do you remember when I was starting my daycare and I would go visit daycares and talk to them? You started your daycare and what? And I would go visit different daycares and talk to them. Yeah. And ask them, like, what were some of the things they liked? What are some of the things they didn't like? Yeah. Yeah, I would do my research. I would go to daycare. So I'm not that person. I'm just getting ready to go off half cocked, as they say. That means you started to do something, you can't finish it, So I would do that, and they would answer me. They would talk to me. When I was doing my notary business, when I was first starting out, I couldn't find anybody that really would talk to me in Georgia. I really could not. So I pick up the phone. I don't even know how I found this girl one day. I don't know if she was I wasn't doing Instagram at that time. I don't know how I found this girl anyway, but I found somebody in Tennessee. And she talked to me. And I asked her a lot of questions. I was like, hey, what about this? What about that? And she took time to actually talk to me. What are some things you like about your business? What are some things you don't like? Now you don't have to do all that legwork that I did because you got me. I got 1,000 videos right here. You got mentorship at $27 per month or $47, whichever you prefer. So a lot of stuff that I went through, you don't have to go through, But I still encourage you to know what you're getting into. That's why I really like people to start with either the ebook or the paperback. Start your notary business. I want you to know the foundation. This is the foundation. One for your estate, okay? Once you know this, then come back for mentorship. By the time you read this little quick ebook or paperback, you ready to go. And then you start making money, okay? Maria says, 1 year, Georgia. Hey, Maria. I only did one notary signing. I want to really know what I'm doing and the fees to charge. I know you put change, but I know you meant charge. I just want to know all of the areas that I can use my notary certification. And you need to be in mentorship. There's no way I can tell you that right here in a 15 minutes left of the YouTube channel. But the book, again, will take you step by step to start your business for Georgia. Okay, literally step by step, what to do in the state of Georgia. Okay, literally. There's one for your state. If you're in Alabama, California, Nevada, wherever you are, you got a book for your state. Okay, so check it out at notaryeducatorsllc.com under the book collection. Okay, and it does cover some of the pricing in there. And these are all valid things that you need to know in order to have a great business, Maria, and have a thriving business. It really is. Lori says, like and subscribe. Again, thank you, Lori. Paula says, commissioned in Indiana. Go ahead, Indiana. Well, what? 4 years, knowing I can, lacking confidence. Have spent so much money on products and training, etc. Yeah, I know. I know, Paula. That's what I was going to say. I know. And that's painful, too. It is. And I'll tell you this. It's so funny because every day I get on YouTube and people are popping up in my feed, different notaries. I'm like, who is this? And I pull that person up. They have 2 videos and they got a full-blown course out there. I'm like, they don't know nothing about this business. They learned something from watching YouTube and they decide to write a course. I get that. But we've been doing this thing for a long time. The proof is there. We still here. Hope to be here. And when you do people right, you can keep coming on YouTube and keep showing up, and they're going to show up for you. And even in your business, your notary business, I always say, if you do the right thing, the money will come. You have the right knowledge, you treat people right, the money will come. We've done all of that in Notary Educators. We do all of that in None Better Notary, which is my personal notary business. We do all of that in everything we do. When they say walk in excellence, we walk in excellence over here. So not only do we do that, but we teach you how to do that. Like for real. And it breaks my heart when I know I had a phone call, and I talked about this a few days ago. Somebody called me and had spent $500 on something. And I'm like, okay. And it was what I thought it was, And again, maybe it's nothing wrong with the program in and of itself, but it's not going to teach you what you need to know. It's not. We deal in practicality. Okay, what's practical? What's real out there? What have we experienced as notaries? Not just a whole bunch of fluff. I could write a 300 module course and sell it for $2,000. I could do that, especially now with AI. Please, I could write you 1,500 modules and just stuff it and just stuff it and stuff it and just keep you inundated and trying to learn, and you still come up for air and be like, I don't know what to do. I don't have a clue what to do. But that's not what we do at Notary Educators. We actually do educate you for real. Now, the education that we provide is maybe too simple for some people. I say that a lot. You hear me say that, but it's true, guys. I have some people, they like complications. It's like, it can't be that easy. Yeah, it is. It's not overly complicated because you got to know what you're doing. That doesn't change. That does not change, right? You still have to know what you're doing. But it's not as complicated where you need 1,500 modules. It's just not. I don't have time to play those kind of games. I've been here almost 5 years on YouTube, running my business for almost 5. Been a notary off and on way longer than that. But I didn't even know you could do a business till I was in, with my sister in the hospital in 2019. And this girl, her friend came by and she was like, I said, what you doing for work? Always talking, getting knowledge, always talking to people. So I said, what you doing for work nowadays? She was like, I'm a notary. I was like, a notary? I was like, I've been a notary before. I know you can get paid for it. She said, oh yeah, I go to people's houses. They come to me. I said, oh, really? I came back home. I did my research. And like I just told you, I don't half step. Ain't no half stepping. I don't half step on nothing, guys. I don't. Either I'm in or I'm not. My husband tell you that. He said, Kim, either you're 100 or you're nothing. Where's the in between? Ain't no in between where I come from. Either you're going to be about it or you don't do it. There is no in between. And it's funny because he's a doer. He's a doer. I'm a go-getter like on 100, like on steroids. So it was funny. A friend of mine asked me, I'm going to get your comment, Crystal. A friend of mine asked me a few years ago before I started my business. And he knew I had my notary commission. He was like, why don't you do anything with your commission? I had a couple people ask me that when I first got it, because I didn't really do anything with it when I first got it. Well, not when I first got it, but when I got it again in 2019. Let me rephrase that. When I got my commission again in 2019, I didn't really do anything with it because I still didn't know the business, right? And 2 people asked me, they was like, why don't you do something with it? I said, no, because when I get ready to do it, I don't have step on nothing. I said, I'm going to be all in. And Lord, did your girl go all in or what? If you cut me, I bleed red and notary, okay? Red and notary. I'm like, oh my God. I had to get to the point where I stopped talking about it. But I started doing my homework and I started doing my research. I'm like, I love this. You mean I can go stamp somebody paper, be in and out their house in 15 minutes and make $100? Are you kidding? You mean somebody gonna pay me? And that's how I felt when I worked at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta. My last job I had with them, I was doing something called Family Experience. And it was just that. My role, when that was my last job, I had like about 8 or 10 jobs there because I'm that person. I change every 6 months. But I learned a lot throughout the hospital. So it wasn't all bad. But most of the time people was getting on my nerves. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to another department. So I learned a lot of stuff. Anyway, my last job was called Family Experience. And I love that job. So that was my job, though. I had to go to different rooms in the ER. And I say, hey, or ED, ER, whatever you want to say. And I'll be like, how's your experience going today? How's everybody treating you? And I'm like, they pay me for this? I love doing that. And that's how I feel about the notary space. I'm like, wait a minute, you mean I can go stamp somebody's paper? You got 2 papers, 2 documents I got to go stamp. And you going to pay me for this? Okay, sign me up. I'll be there, okay? Then when I started doing mortgage documents and loan documents and everything, now I am an attorney state, so you have to have an attorney for quite a few of the products, but not all of the products, okay? So when I started doing mortgage documents, I was like, wait a minute, they paying their attorney and they paying me? There's some money out here. And I used to work at the bank, right? But I wasn't on that side of it. I was a teller. I did financial service rep, customer service rep, all that. So I knew about loan documents. I wasn't afraid of the documents. I never was afraid of them. But each one is still different, though. That's why I would say don't memorize documents. Remember processes. Krista Renee says, okay, I'm signing up because I'm nervous. I'm here in Georgia. I did one. It was correct, but I haven't done any more. I'm definitely joining. Yeah, Krista. And I want you to not, just do it and get through it. There's times when you can do it and get through it. I have, I had a person, this was a few years ago, and she was in a Facebook group, and she reached out and I talked to her, and she was like, hey, I took this signing. I really don't know what I'm doing. Do you think I should do it? Can you help me with it? And at that time, I was still trying to help people a little bit through Facebook and, a little trying to anyway. At that point, that was like about 3 years ago before I actually started mentorship programs. And I was like, okay, let me try. And I was like, you can't teach nobody like that, Kimmi. You cannot. So I would try, I said, girl, I can help you as much as I can in a 5-minute phone call. I said, but I don't really recommend you keep the signing. I don't. I'm very straightforward when it comes to notary. I don't play. Sometimes I tell my people in mentorship, I said, the Kimmi you see on YouTube and the Kimmi over here is two different people. Because I want you to win over here. I want you to win over here too on YouTube. But over there, we ain't got time for games, guys. This is your business. You paying me money to help you. So, like your real coach, like if you have a coach for health or fitness or whatever, mental, whatever, they give you real talk. You're not paying them to sugarcoat it, right? So over there, I'm like, honey. And over here, I'm equally the same. I'm not two people, but I'm just saying I don't really play when I got to get your results. How about that? Okay, I don't play about my business. I don't play about your business. So anyway, this person took the assignment and they got it done. She got it done. And she got back in Facebook and she was like, yeah, I'm so glad. She didn't put me on blast or anything, but she was like, I'm so glad I got it done. It's accomplished. But, somebody was like, you shouldn't do it. You should give it back. I wasn't going to let nobody stop me today. And I admired that part of her because I just finished telling you, I don't let nobody stop me either, right? But don't let nobody not stop you from jumping off a cliff and you doing the wrong thing, okay? So it's a difference. It's a difference. And she did get through it. I was glad she did because I was worried for her. I was worried. I was so worried that I almost tried to see, can I go to the appointment because she needed a witness. I was going to see, can I go and try to be a witness so I can help her walk through the appointment. I almost did that. But I didn't have time that day. And it all worked out. But don't let it be you out here taking signings and it just works out. And you like, whoo, it worked out. Excuse me. No, let's know what we're doing. Let's handle our business. Okay? I don't want you out there guessing. I think I got it. Maybe. I'm pretty sure. No, I want you to know. I want you to know. And that's why I always say what I teach ain't sexy. I get in the dirt with you. Let's get in the dirt. Okay? Everybody want to buy the plant from Home Depot that's already blossomed and blooming and pretty and big. I bought some plants during COVID. I didn't know you could buy mature plants. I think is what it's called. It was 1-800-plants or something. I don't know, but I bought some rose bushes. 3 years already completed, right? Your notary business ain't like that. You can't go buy the information. You cannot. You have to start with the little seed, get in the dirt, dig it up, plant that baby, water it, nurture it, learn it, cultivate it, all those words. You have to do that. You have to. There's nobody that can just open up your brain and just put all your stuff in there that you need to know. It's not. It's not. Now, fortunately, this is what I do. So I enjoy doing it. I enjoy helping you learn the business. I enjoy helping you during mentorship. I enjoy doing all these things. So in turn, I hope some of my energy and my feelings about it will be contagious and help you in your business. Okay? Lori W says, come on and join us. Trust me, it's worth it. Oh, girl, yeah, I already know. That's why. Oh, Paula, don't say that. Paula says, letting myself and my children down. Paula, please, don't feel like that, honey. It's a lot of information, as you already stated before. You had spent a lot of money, and I understand that. That's another reason why I keep everything affordable. It's not because the value isn't there. I could charge $197 a month, too. $97 a month, $600 for this course, $800 for that course, because I know I'm going to change your life. But I think big picture. If I help you, Paula, and I'm going to help you, you're going to join mentorship, you're going to get the help you need. But as we're helping you, you're going to tell somebody else, they're going to tell somebody else, they're going to tell somebody else, they're going to tell somebody else. And that's how you be here 5 years on YouTube. That's how you still in the game. right? A lot of people that I used to watch that started this business are no longer here for whatever reason. Some of them have moved on, you know. Nobody was really a crook that I knew of. There are some new ones popping up though. Y'all be careful out there because I'm telling you, and I'm not saying they're crooks either. I don't know. But it's so many people that are starting courses and selling this and selling that. I'm like, oh wow, where'd you come from? And I'm looking at your channel. I'm like, you got 2 subscribers, but you selling me a $400 course, and they probably getting it. That's the funny part. I've been doing this for 5 years. I don't even sell anything for $400. I used to sell a bundle for $500, but I don't even sell anything for $400. I know this business back, forward, whatever. But whatever. So Paula, please though, Lori W is saying it so correctly. Paula, it's not too late to get back on track and believe in yourself. You got this, okay? Like for real, that really is hurtful. Don't even use those kind of words and talking to yourself, okay? Please don't, because you have so much to. You just need the right foundation, and you just need to be in the right space, okay? And hopefully we can provide that for you. All right. HLR Wellness is saying thank you. Good morning. Hey, Introverted Spirit. Love the name. Maria saying hello. Introverted Spirit says, is the ebook in the description? I was so scared to start. I said this year, I'm going to be serious. I'm in Texas. Oh, Introverted Spirit, you need to be in the group, honey. We got so many people in Texas in there. I'm like, that's interesting. I got a lot of people from Texas in the mentorship. Yes, the ebook is in the description. It's at notaryeducatorsllc.com though. And you can get the one for Texas. Take you step by step. Booyah. But join mentorship though when you get ready, okay? And that's another reason why I don't pressure you. People say, should I join mentorship? Or should I do this? I don't even have my commission. And some people I've heard on other channels, they're like, yeah, come on. No, I don't want you joining my mentorship program until you have your little ducks in a row, and that means having your commission. I really have like for you to read the Start Your Notary Business book, but that's not a requirement. But you got to have your commission. That's like me selling you a car and you have a driver's license. So people find us, they get excited. I'm signing up tomorrow. Get your commission. I'm going to be here. We're going to be here, God willing. And then let's walk it in the right. Let's do the right thing. If you buy the course and all that, and you don't even have your commission. That's like I said, you buy a car, you got a driver's license. Let's just pump the brakes. We gonna be here. And I'm excited for you. I want you to get excited. I want you to do this thing, but let's just do it in the right order. Okay. Hey, Maria, again, you're so welcome. And Grit, what's up? What's up? She said, greetings, Miss Kimfrey. She combined me and Jeffrey's name. How you doing out there? What's up? What's up? Crystal Renee says, that was me, Kimmi. I called you. I did and winged it and chickened out. And since I didn't want to drop out. Was it really, Crystal? Are you sure? Because I don't remember. It's a long time ago. And you know what? I really appreciate you being brave enough to say that was you. Wow. Are you kidding? That was like 3 years ago. Oh, wow. I did it and winged it and chickened out. Wow, Crystal. You're going to make me cry. Because it was meant for you to be here today. It was meant for you to be here. I typically don't even go live like this in the mornings. I don't. Crystal, I really appreciate you being honest. Really. And that's exactly what I told you. Oh my God. If you know what? They say there are no coincidences. That I think so, Crystal, for real. Wow. I just can't believe she said that. Yes, that's exactly what you told me. I'm joining now, LLL. Oh my God. Wow. That is so funny. I'm speechless. I really am, Crystal. I'm actually speechless. Wow. If you missed that story, go back because it was true. And Crystal, it wasn't just you, huh? I could tell that story 1,000 different ways. But wow. The fact that you're here this morning and you could testify that was a true story. I'm really about to tear up on that. And the fact that you're here today, and don't let that be, that was years ago. You should be making money. Let's do this thing, Crystal. This time, let's do it. Once I get myself together. Who's in sync? I like that. Who's sync? Hello, Kimmi. I just got on the live. What is the topic? Yeah, we're talking. Well, the initial topic was, I go about 15 different things, but the initial topic was, can notaries do apostilles? Because there's a lot of confusion out there. So go back and watch it. And then I've just been answering some questions, like just talking about everything. Hey, Lamar, how are you? Ingrid says, I just sent this video to two of my friends. And that's what I'm talking about. This is exactly what I'm talking about. See how Ingrid, she's working for me and being kind enough to refer me because she knows what I'm saying is truthful. So that's how you want to be in your business. You want to be the go-to notary where you can get people to work for you. They're referring people to you because they like you. They trust you. Provide on what you promise people and you will succeed also. Okay. Miko says, hello all. Hey, Miko. Lamar, is there a way to change your notary signature? Yes, you have to go to your Secretary of State. Yes, you have to change it on file there. And that's so important. And it's a very good question because say, for example, you signed your name L. Smith. Well, first of all, let's go back. Let's say you signed it Lamar John Anthony Smith, all of that, right? And you like all of a sudden, I don't want to write all that. You need to go back to the Secretary of State and you need to sign it the way you want it to be, L. Smith or whatever. And why? Because especially when you're doing apostilles, that's when they're checking that signature. Okay? They're checking that signature. And I know I just said notaries don't do apostilles, so you got to know how to do the apostille process to know what I'm talking about. You don't actually put it on there, but there are times when you notarize the document that needs to be apostille and that has to be signed correctly. Okay? All right. You're welcome, Crystal. I'm just really, that just really made my day here. I'm telling you. Hey, introvert, we got another Texan in the house. What's up, Texas? Yes, apostilles. What I'm interested in learning. Yes. So check out, I have many free videos here on the channel about apostilles, but when you're really ready to do a deep dive, check out the apostille course. 60% off. Coupon code is WIN2025. It's not $500 like everyone else. It should be. It's only $77. But it's, again, I just finished talking about, I don't do fluff. I'm not putting 55 modules in there to make you feel like you got your money's worth. What you need to do in apostille is in that course. All right. Helena Horsley, good morning. Miss Lady VA, what's up? What's up? Lori saying like and subscribe. And does that mean retake the oath? Now that one I don't know. Most of the time they don't make you take it in the first place. I've been down there and I've seen many people get their notary commission and they didn't even make me take the oath, okay? So yeah. So if it does though, just retake it. It's not a big deal. Raise your hand, take the oath. Not a big deal. But yeah, most of the time they don't even make you take it in the beginning. So, but guys, I have to get out of here because I do have my appointment. I got two today. One is personal. We about to go see Superman, and then I got to go work. So I don't know if y'all like Superman or not, but me and the hubby going to see Superman. That's why I have this on. And then from there, I have a job. Always working. He was like, we always got to work. I'm like, we want to eat. That's what my mother and my sister used to say. And my sister, when she was sick, and we was all trying to take off. I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to go for real. When we was all trying to take off work and go be with her, she was like, go to work, go to work, go to work, go to work. I don't need anybody sit here with me. Go to work. So if we want to eat. So anyway, we're going to see Superman this morning, and then we're going to go work this afternoon. I got an inspection. Okay? Anyway, guys, love you guys. Peace out. Much success. See you at NotaryEducatorsLLC.com. All things notary. Bye. Thank you for your time teaching this morning. You are so welcome, Miss Lady VA. Peace.